Okay, so for this session we've got 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 150. So as I promised, 80, 60, 40, and then there's no cones, but 100, 120, 150. The 120 and 150, they have cones, but the 100, there is no cones, and that's because I know where it is. So I might move cones there after the 40, just so it's more visualizing for you guys. Different from last session, we're not going to do this floating. We're going to do this running all out, trying to run it as if I'm actually running a 200. And the goal is just to really get around this portion of the race strong, and before we get to that portion of the race, set myself up well. And the focus is less on stride frequency in this area and more on stride length, but at the start it's obviously both, but I'm trying to get some stride length out of me and just better angles out of the start. And if that goes well, naturally I'm expecting to get faster by the time I have to compete again in August. So now let's put on my spikes right there and finish my warm-up. One thing I forgot to note is I brought my Hydro Boost bottle, but I forgot the electrolytes that come with it. So I might not perform as well as I want to this session, purely because after a while I'm just going to drop out. I'm use up all my energy at the start, I'm going to have nothing to recover it with. I've got honey, but I know honey doesn't really work as well as Hydro Boost does, not even close. So I'm going to do what I can, but I'm going to make sure that when I get home, the first thing I do is get some Hydro Boost, my system, get the electrolytes and vitamins in that flowing through me so that I can recover well when I sleep, so that the next time I train I'm good, and so that hopefully I don't get cramps, or if I do. Okay, so I did the 40 meter and it went all right. I did the set position well with my hips forwards instead of up, which is good. And the bend I ran, I didn't really get to run the bend much, it's only at 40 meters. But this time we got a 60, and I don't have to focus on the set because I know I can do that because I did it here. I don't really have to focus too hard on the bend and what I'm going to talk about, which is my glutes. Focusing on having high heels out of the early acceleration and then just run the bend to the best of my abilities, following what my coach told me to do and has been telling me to do. So if I can get this down, then I can run well. And then along with that is stride length. It's a lot to think about, but I know I'll be able to think about it whilst I'm running. It's just I need to make this subconscious when I compete, otherwise it's 50-50 whether I do it or not. So let's start. Rep number 2, 60 meters. Did the 100. Coach said I ran 11.9, and I wouldn't say I deserve to run faster, but I would say that the start wasn't effective as it was or could have been. That was alright. stayed on the inside of the lane, but I lost time here on the start. So for the 120 and 150s that I'm going to be running, I'm going to focus on the start again. Just make sure I take long steps, because I didn't take long steps there. I took normal steps, which aren't long, and that kind of hindered me. But the angle of attack wasn't too bad. It could have been lower, but it wasn't too bad for what it was. The bend was alright. Overall, I think we can run faster. The 120 and 150 won't be timed, but I'm going to give it my all. So I felt like around the bend, I got stuck in the positioning and I couldn't raise. So when I do the 120 and 150, I can't let that happen, otherwise I won't be able to run fast. And I didn't feel myself pushing in the way that I've been training to, so I'm gonna see. Because a few of the techniques that I've been playing with recently that got me back into 11-2 shape, I wouldn't really say I did on the bend on this rep, but if we did, who knows what could have happened. But it's too late now. So I'm going to try again, not 100, 120 and a 150, and we're going to see if I can run them the way I want to. And specifically, even if I don't run the bend well, I need to make sure that I do the right technique. If I'm not doing the right technique, I can't run fast anyway. So even if the bend removes time off of what I can run, it's not that big of a deal. So I'd rather focus on this than get a good bend. But from the looks of things, I can run a good bend. I just need to remember to do the technique that I've been playing with, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've done the session, the number 50, and I ran 17.6. So for next season, the aim for 150 is about 16.3. If I can do that, I should be able to run a 21 and not a high 21, a low 21. So my coach said if I was to do a 200 instead of that 150, that would have been a 22. I did some maths, add 5, and that would have been a 22.7. But my average splits for the 50, if you say that my 100 was this one, 150, it was the same as 100 I did before, it was 5.7 for 50 meters divided by 5, and it's 1.14, I'm pretty sure. And I did the maths, and even if you was to say, okay, well the first 10 meters instead of bend, so make it slower, make it 1.2, and readjust. The next 40 meters is 4.5. Divided by 4, I forget what you get, but divided by 4, times that by 9, and then add up all the other numbers, and you get 23.22. So maybe my coach is speaking off experience, but if I just look at the numbers, they've been using the wrong adjuster for the 200, but I'm seeing 23.22. And I think it might be wrong, considering the fact that I ran a 200 here with my coach timing it 23 and I PB'd. So maybe he's speaking in that regard that he knows it's a 22, because the last time I ran a 23 it became a PB. So maybe it's that. But session's done, stretch, go home, get my hydro boosted, and next we're gonna aim to remove 1.3, 1.4 4, I should say, from the 150. Probably next season. Not gonna get that done this season. We're gonna get a massive PB. But next season we're gonna aim for 16.3 for 150, because then I know I can run 21 and I'll be in pretty good shape. But for now, I'll take what I get. Happy with that. Sort of. Around a better bend. So yeah, with that, my start has now become whatever I did. I think I just need to come back next week and see if we can fix that, but I'll see what I can do, and see you guys next video.